we've got another deep dive for F1 23, and therefore we've got another video to dissect and look at under a microscope here on the channel. In this one, we're going to be dissecting the very jam-packed portion of today's deep dive of F1 World. If you want to know my thoughts about the Breaking Point 2 stuff, then stay tuned. That'll be a second video later today, but I wanted to start off with F1 World, because for better or worse, it looks like F1 World as a game mode is going to completely change the trajectory of this game, not just this year but years to come, I'm guessing, because they've thrown the classic EA playbook at Formula 1 games, because F1 World is effectively F1 Ultimate Team. It's a FIFA Ultimate Team style treatment to the Formula 1 games and how you play the F1 games. You've got different divisions, rankings, upgrades to make via XP boosts that you can purchase or earn, and various different categories of your F1 World team as you progress through and play the game. Does that sound a bit familiar? Because it does sound a lot like how FIFA Ultimate Team is, with its different packs, different little bits and bobs you have to upgrade, etc, etc. So we're going to dive into it. We're going to take a look at all the info along with the deep dive video. They also released this article, which is kind of good for me just to read off and explain to you guys the different parts, and as I'm talking about it, I'll throw up some screenshots from the deep dive to illustrate what I'm talking about. So this is just a large and part overview of F1 World as a whole. We kind of already know about this. If you did watch my details you may have missed video, uploaded about a couple of weeks ago, basically when the game first got revealed. So there's going to be a mixture of solo and multiplayer stuff. There's going to be a connected license system, so if you're crashing out and doing badly in the solo events, when you go to online, you may not be able to actually get into higher ranks because your license is lower, because you've been crashing out AI, etc. in these solo events. But yeah, there's time trial, Grand Prix, multiplayer. This is what it looks like then, with a little gif from the video. So you've got this whole UI screen of looking around the map, and you can go to different parts of the world and race on the different circuits, different solo events. You've got these smaller races which are 3 laps, then 5 laps, and then 18 laps there, so 25% race. I haven't seen anything about a 50% or 100% race, so looks like maybe 25% might be the highest it goes to in terms of these races effectively. And it's different kind of categories. You can be racing in the F1 World car, which is denoted by this W over there, but then there's also other ones where you could be racing in F2 cars or the actual official F1 2023 cars. Now, the important bit about all this in this article is the F1 World car, because this is where you kind of start to see where they're taking this mode and where they're taking the game, because it becomes very apparent why we've not heard a single thing about My Team Career Mode so far in the build-up to this game. So your F1 World car is the vehicle you're using throughout most of F1 World. Just like in previous games, you'll be able to change how it looks, but F1 World, you'll unlock upgrades to equip instantly, changing its performance. So just like in previous games, you can change its look, i.e. like in previous games, this car used to be the My Team car, and you could change its looks, or in multiplayer you could change its looks, but now in F1 World you can unlock upgrades to equip it. So eventually, if you played F1 World long enough, your F1 World car is going to basically be like a maxed out My Team Career Mode car versus someone who didn't play it at all, and it's going to be like the base level Season 1 My Team car is effectively how I'm seeing this. As you progress through F1 World, you unlock upgrades known as car parts, like brakes and gearboxes, and this was shown in the deep dive video. You had different parts, and it looks really, really intricate. You've got tech level rising to like 250 in the example I'm showing you on screen, and then this splash page, this is again a part of the F1 World Hub. Does this not look very familiar? Does this not look a lot like a My Team Career Mode Vista, but it's F1 World now, and you've got Garage, Compendium, Customization, Trophies, Showroom. We're getting through to some power unit selection, so we've got engineering car parts, and then the inventory we've got for the power unit. So we've got a Champion V1 rare, which is 132 performance versus 128 for the Champion V1 Uncommon. You've got the Vortex E1 Uncommon compared to the rare, and then the Champion V1 Uncommon 115. So, different varying performances of power units depending on their rarity, either being uncommon, common, or rare, and that adds, you can see on the right-hand side, +3 to ERS efficiency, and you can view that, and it's all looking actually pretty awesome it looks like a, you know, whole new set of UI and graphics and everything for that. You can equip these different power units, you can dismantle them and actually just recoup some points to spend elsewhere, and you can also boost your tech level by doing that as well. You've got the same thing for brakes, Spark, MK1, 140, FVB tech, all these kind of fake different, you know, different brake components, I guess, or brake manufacturers, or, you know, whatever you want to call it, brands that have got different, you know, performances. So obviously you've got 140 being the better one, but you've got rare brakes here, Spark MK1 Mark 1, +8 on drag reduction. This will give us if you upgrade to these rare brakes. So this system, if you're actually familiar with the game, is a lot like F1 mobile racing. You've got gearboxes, Commander V1, 118 common, +5 weight reduction for this gearbox as well. So you see they've simplified it. It's not quite like My Team Career Mode where every part actually denotes what part of the car you're improving. And then what we've got, even on top of car parts, you know, car parts are nothing new in My Team Career Mode before, but, you know, this new UI looks really, really cool, you know, really fresh. Now, you've got team member upgrades in F1 World. You can upgrade your team principal. So you've got a common principal, and I'm sure you can get a uncommon one or a rare team principal. You've got rare strategists, and you have to sign contracts with them, which are very much like FIFA Ultimate Team, where you sign contracts. You know, I haven't played Ultimate Team myself. It's been a fair few years since I've played FIFA Ultimate Team, but I remember there were certain little things you could do with contracts in terms of, I think it was your manager and like little boosters you could add onto the team. And this is exactly what you're getting here, is with this rare strategist, you get +17 drag reduction for 60 seconds after pitting. So for 60 seconds in a race after you pit in this car, you get +17 drag reduction. And then contracts, you've got the 5 events. You can do 5 races or 5 things with this rare strategist before you have to re-sign them or get a new one. And 20% chance of track data from events. And track data is another thing that's a part of F1 World. You've got a head of R&D as well. You've got a head of R&D as well. You've got a unique R&D head, so there looks like there's going to be uncommon, common, rare, very rare, unique, I guess. So this one, 5 events, bonus XP from low tire wear events. You got +20 engine power for 60 seconds after pitting, lower cost of boosting car parts in level 1, higher resources from dismantling car parts. So if you get car parts you don't want and you dismantle them, you get higher resources that you can put back into purchasing other parts. You've got lower costs of actually boosting parts in level 1 of the car part section. And that alludes to probably there's different levels of, you know, you've got, you've got tech level, 113. Maybe you go all the way up the levels of these different levels of car parts basically throughout F1 World as you play it. And then you've even got sponsors that are part of F1 World. You've got epic sponsors that are, well, it looks like, I don't know tangibly if they're going to be, I'm sure Echo's one of the fake brands in, the sponsors that you could put on a My Team car in a couple of last games. So I'm sure if you sign the sponsor in F1 World, you can then customize and place that sponsor on the car just like you would with My Team Career Mode. But epic sponsor here, 125 +23 tire durability for 30 seconds after 5 overtakes. So you make 5 overtakes in a race and all of a sudden your tire durability goes up basically, and you get a cash bonus if you do a wet race. Or I think these are goals basically that you have to do in terms of when you have them. But these are the different parts that make up F1 World in terms of what you can play around with. And don't get me wrong, I mean, you can hear it in my voice, it is quite exciting actually, because it's so different, very, very new UI, very new menus, new ways to play, this game mode of, upgrading the cars. You can upgrade team principals and R&D heads now and strategists, and that plays into how good your car is. And it's all really, really interesting. But at the same time, in the back of my head, it's niggling away at me that at no point in the build-up to F1 23 have we heard anything, not a single word about My Team Career Mode. It's been mentioned in the blurb on the Steam page, but we've not got a deep dive of it coming on the way. We've not even mentioned the Twitter, like the Twitter account and, all the socials have not mentioned My Team by name, basically, all of the campaign of this game on the build-up. So all of this new UI, new upgrades, head of R&D, strategists, team principal, all of this, is any of it which is all very career mode based gameplay. Is any of it going to be available in career mode on my team? I don't think so. I think they would have told us by now, or I think there would be a My Team or career mode deep dive by now, or scheduled, if it was going to be in those modes. So we've got the compendium, which is basically this other section where you can earn little sticker book things, which I think is quite a cool thing, especially if you're a newer F1 fan. You know, you can learn a bit about the history of the sport. You know, for me personally, obviously this screenshot here, you know, I remember this very vividly. Nice little touch, you know, you can basically build up a little sticker book and photo album of different things of F1. It gives you something else to earn basically through. All of this is wrapped up in these rewards you get from races and events. You've got cash, insight, key insight, critical insight, setup data, track data, tire wear data, and duplicate stickers. Now, you then go into this part of the F1 World menu, and you've got a sponsor blueprint. So you've got these different blueprints, which is very similar to F1 Mobile Racing. There were blueprints in that game, I believe, where basically you do R&D research on getting these things done, and you've got basically requirements of you need a certain amount of cash. So for this sponsor, you need 16k cash, 60 insights, 75 track data, and 150 tire wear data. Once you've got all of those, you can actually engineer this sponsor blueprint, and you can do a rare one, you can do an epic, legendary, uncommon, so they'll cost, you know, more or less. So I'm sure, like, you know, a unique or legendary one or rare one is going to cost more cash, more insight, more track data, more tire wear data than an uncommon one, for example. And obviously that will result in you getting a better sponsor, a better team principal, you can see, because there's also team principals in a blueprint. So you can earn your way to getting better. You know, that's how you basically are earning your way through. You're earning these things to spend on these blueprints that will then effectively give you better parts, better sponsors, better team principals, etc., to just boost your F1 World car and make it quicker and quicker and quicker. And finally, on top of the race events that we've already talked about, you saw those little smaller ones, etc., etc. On top of those events, the whole of F1 World and multiplayer is all linked through also a division system that you can also take part in. So you join a group. Each week you play, you'll be added to a group with other members of your division. So you're in a division, and you get put into a group of all the people in your division. So let's say bronze, and you're going to play to earn points in that division and work your way up. So eventually you could get to elite division, where the only people you're grouped with are other people in elite. So it's kind of like almost, again, a FIFA system of division. We all know KSI's famous Road to Division 1 back in the day on like FIFA 12, for example. It's kind of like that. You could do Road to Division Elite, basically from bronze through silver, gold, elite, and work your way through, play all the time against like-minded in terms of like performance players, and work your way through divisions. So that's on top of the individual little events you can do with F1 World and just generally playing multiplayer. Is you also have this rank system of it's been overhauled from all the other kind of ranked stuff we had in the past with F1. So if you are into playing a lot of multiplayer and playing it more competitively, and you want to kind of test yourself, you can play ranked. So there is a lot of new content with F1 World. Like there is actually a lot, and this is why I say it is going to change the game for better or worse, because for better, there's a lot of content there to play, and if you embrace it, there's a lot of stuff to play, if that's your kind of thing. They've clearly put a lot of effort into this, and they're putting a lot of their eggs into this basket, because there's a lot of content there, and there's clearly took a lot of time to make and map out UI-wise, menu-wise. You've got goals of complete the last series, unlock the compendium, unlock engineering, unlock vendor goals, all these little kind of things to keep you playing the game every single week in, week out, basically. Whether it is a grand success, I don't know. If it is, genuinely, it could be a lot of fun, actually. And that's speaking, from someone who's not a person who plays online. Genuinely, if I find this fun and it's rewarding, and it's not like an absolute, ball ache and grind of facing people, taking you out, etc., like most F1 online races are, then it could actually, be quite promising, quite a fun kind of game mode to play. But at the same time, I'm just now, at the end of this video, all you and me have now all looked through all of this. I'm just sat here thinking, could all of this effort been put into my team, making it even better than it already is? And that's a question and topic I'm going to delve into in another video down the line, because I have some pretty big thoughts about it. But that is F1 World. It is exciting. It is actually a very juicy, chunky new game mode. There's a lot of gameplay in F1 World. There's actually so much gameplay in F1 World that you'd be silly not to try it out a little bit. I'd be silly not to try it out a little bit on the channel, for example, for videos, and you as a player try it out. Whether it's actually long-lasting fun is another question for another day, and I guess for when the game comes out. But that is the deep dive look into F1 World. The hub for all, it says. For all. Don't know if that actually includes career mode players, because I think you'll find a lot of them are quite stubborn about wanting to still play career mode, but that's besides the point. But yeah, guys, if you have enjoyed the video and you found it informative, then be sure to hit that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Do you like the look of F1 World? I really want to know what you guys make of it in the comments below, so please sound off. What do you make of F1 World? Do you like what you're seeing? Are you going to give it a go? And if specifically, if you're a My Team or career mode player and you only usually ever play offline, are you going to give this a go? And does it look interesting enough for you for you to give it a go? Let me know in the comments below. If you're new around here, then do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.